Okay, everybody, I just wanted to sit there and show you about something called a mason bee. Mason bees are known as Mother Nature's great pollinator. Everybody thinks of honeybees. Everybody's been on the pollinator bandwagon as far as trying to help them out and do what we can because of the problems with the honeybees. And the honeybees get all the attention. But the mason bee, and I think there's like 20 other different kinds of bees out there that actually do the heavy lifting and the pollinating. And so this is the first year we've been carrying mason bees. And so they come in a little tube like this, and they're completely dormant. Although ours have just started to hatch, so I need homes. We only have 4 of these tubes because one's coming home to my yard. 4 of these tubes left, and inside each one is about 5 different cocoons of mason bees. They're about $21.99 for one tube, and there's only 4 left. But I need help because they're starting to hatch. Let's take a look. So Gavin's showing our first batch of mason bees. You can see in there where the cocoons are. I'm trying to get it. There's about 4 or 5 little cocoons in there. And these 2 little bees just emerged.
And one pooped on me.
Yes, and one relieved itself on your hand. So proud of you for not swatting the bee. But these 2 little bees are just sitting there drying themselves off, and they're going to get ready to start being able to fly around. They've been kept in a refrigerator to keep them dormant, so they're just waking up and they're going to start doing the thing here shortly. So we're going to get these 2 home, but we do have 4 more packets that are going to start hatching anytime now. So we need to get these little guys at home, so hopefully somebody out there can come help us out. These are the true pollinators for your backyard. Okay, so we are now back home, and we're gonna set our mason bees free, and they're hatching. There's 6 little cocoons inside this tube. We just had a 3rd one hatch on the way home. So I don't know if they're gonna stay around or not, but I have a little critter house, and we're gonna set it up. And hopefully, if there's some females in the mix, maybe she'll start laying some eggs in there and keep a little colony going. But let's take a look at what's going on with the hoop. Okay, so this is just an all-purpose little critter hotel, they call them. And you have all sorts of nooks and crannies that all sorts of insects and bugs and things like that try to look for when they're either just making nests or homes in season, or mason bees are typically like these tubes. They like a long hollow tube, and they're called a mason bee because the female will climb in there, go to the back of the tube, put a little pollen down in there, lay an egg, and then she goes and collects mud, comes back and plugs the hole, and then makes a little chamber of all those little cocoons. So over the summer months, those bees will eat that pollen and mature into little flies. Little bees like we're seeing in here, and then they weave a cocoon, stay in there all winter long, and then emerge next spring. So one female, I think, will do anywhere from 15 to 20 eggs, and then the cycle starts over the next year. So what I'm thinking is, this is how my mason bees came. I got all the displays in here. Let's see if I can get them to, hard to do this with one hand. But that's the way the tube, and it looks like we've got another one about to hatch. You can see right in there the little antennas coming out there. So this batch is clearly all about to hatch. And so we're just gonna take this and try to gently stick it in here. If I can get it to stay in there. They should just continue to hatch, and hopefully as they come out, they'll, if it's a female, she'll discover that there's some perfectly good tubes, not have to look too far, and take up residency in there, because one's gonna come out. Let's see if I can get another one to come out here. Now, mason bees, they do the pollinating. See, one little mason bee will pollinate, I don't know if I can get it to focus. There we go. that one little mason bee will do more pollinating than like 120 bees, honeybees. But yet the honeybee gets all our attention. Reason for it is these little guys are so small they get in there, and a honeybee is really good at cleaning off the pollen and everything off of their body after they're done going out foraging, whereas the mason bee is just covered in little hairs. I can't get them off. I don't think you can really see it. There's a million little hairs all over them, so they just get right inside the pollen, right inside the flowers, get covered in pollen, and go from flower to flower to flower, and just do a tremendous amount of pollinating. But they don't normally sting. You have to really be aggressive with them to get them to sting. Reason being is they're a solitary bee. They don't go and fly all over the place and make a true colony. There's males and females, but they don't have a little hierarchy like regular bees. But that's it. So we're gonna set these guys free. I think this is a male. I believe they said that if there was a white dot on the forehead, it's the males. And so we're gonna set them free. I'm gonna try to work them into little critter, give them a place to hide over the night so they don't get eaten. And maybe if they stick around long enough, if there's any females in there, she'll take put. But also these little things, they need to dry off, warm up a little bit, and get ready to fly, because they can't fly at the moment. So we'll check back other days, see if we can find any notes or any signs of females taking up residency in our little hotel. Very cool.